Hey guys, welcome to the weekly commentary video. Let's check out what happened this week. It's been the NFP week, and obviously Trump opened his mouth this week as well. Kind of pissed about that because he ruined one of my trades. Um, but it seems like a lot of you guys are taking advantage of all this movement that's been going on and making some good coin. So the Euro US dollar here is, good uptrend. Yeah, there was a rejection candle there. I didn't really like it too much, just due to the overextension on the weekly chart, so I didn't really prefer that one. You can see here that the around where the signal did form, quite overextended there, so um, I just avoided that. I'll probably avoid trading, yeah, until it either corrects properly or reaches this weekly resistance here. I just feel like it's a little too, I guess, expensive to be buying at these extended prices. I think the risk of a deeper correction is there. So we can look for sell signals off here. Perfect spot for a counter trend reversal. Otherwise, yeah, that's probably all I'm really looking to do at this stage. The pound went long on that. I put that as the chart of the day. Really liked this setup. It's a nice breakout setup on the weekly. So we get that breakout retest, and we're hanging around right at this level here again. And that's where we got the bullish rejection. Not too much follow through yet. So I was hoping to see a bit more follow through after the NFP, but at least the NFP didn't destroy the trade either, I guess. So that's still looking okay to the upside. US dollar Swiss franc, this was just a reverse of the Euro US dollar, but I did prefer this over the Euro US dollar trade because it did show, like the weekly chart does show that we've just recently gone through a structure breakout, and it did look a lot better in terms of where it was sitting on the weekly chart. So that one did work out. No retracement entry on that, unfortunately, but some of you guys did catch that one, and that's worked out really nicely after NFP as well. The US dollar yen, this is the trade I had open from last week, shorting this guy here. And, you know, the market moved like right up near my entry point, and I just thought, well, if I went into the 4-hour chart, I could see like here's about where this is about where the signal formed, got in on that retracement. So we're trending downwards, and then all of a sudden the market starts building a lot of strength, breaks these previous lower highs here, and continues rallying forward. And you wouldn't believe it, like right about here, that's when I pulled the pin and said, I'm not willing to hold this as the markets come all the way back to the entry point and go and risk sitting through NFP. Felt like that was a bit of a gamble, relying on NFP to drive the trade for me. So I just pulled the trigger on that. I did get a very small amount of profit, but like nowhere near as much as I would have. Now this trade looks like it's going to probably fall down and hit my original target, which would have been 1 to 8 risk reward. But yeah, that just sucks. But I was just going to say to myself that this could have easily just been as strong the other way, depending on the data. I think it was more of a gamble. Would have paid off this time, but not really something I would want to continue repeating in the future. So that sucks, but oh well. The US CAD dropping a nice rejection candle here, okay, at lower highs. We can see we got previous sell pressure going into that. Let's have a look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks like a sell as well. You can see that overextension trying to break through that weekly level, and then we've just gotten weakness come in the next few weeks. Yeah, so the weekly chart's really not giving us any strong bullish price action here at all. It's all quite heavily on the bearish side. So yeah, that does look like a promising signal there. US dollar, Singapore dollar, still consolidating around this weekly level, so it doesn't really look too attractive right now. The Aussie dollar, this is the game plan here. Okay, so these are the two containment levels for this Aussie dollar. Probably not going to trade this market until get a signal off one of these levels. Okay, there was a buy signal here, but if we go to the weekly chart, we can see we're going against this weekly downward pressure, and we're actually going against this really good looking sell signal actually on the weekly chart as well. So weekly chart takes precedence. If something is very compelling on the weekly chart, we don't really want to go against that in our day-to-day swing trading. So yeah, really not going to do anything until I get a sell here or a buy here, really, or a breakout. New Zealand dollar charging to the stratosphere here, but no real action to take. I'd be looking for a correction next week. We can see we got a nice potential swing level through there. So if we can see the market correct down, drop a buy signal off higher lows there, that will be very nice. That will get us in with this bullish momentum. And we can see the market's trying to obviously trend back up into that weekly structure level up here. So if we go to the weekly chart, we can see a ranging structure here, right? So fairly large range, so we can kind of catch the pullbacks on the trend as it does that between range boundaries. And yeah, looks like that's the outlook for the New Zealand dollar there. Just the range playing out. Aussie New Zealand dollar. Okay, very straight line kind of sell move. Don't really want to get involved with this, especially on the sell side right now, because we are the sellers have already made a very decent contribution here, so they're probably going to reach that state of exhaustion here, and that's likely to occur around this weekly support level. So keep your eyes peeled for a nice buy signal of that weekly support. Okay, it's a counter trend move. Got that weekly overextension. Okay, and that very strong level there. So it's going to be a very nice hotspot for a nice counter trend reversal to occur. Euro pound. A couple of people, or one person actually asked me about this as a sell signal. It's a nice place for a double top, but it was just not a very compelling sell signal at all. It's kind of on the weak side. It could have worked out. We could have seen a bit of follow through with that, but we didn't take any action on this because it's just, if you're going to go counter trend, you really want, to see some the price action there that really screams at you like, okay, there's a dramatic change happening here. This doesn't really communicate that at all. There's a little bit of bearish rejection in there, but there's not much of there's no bearish authority coming in at that level. Just a bit of a bounce off that level, really. It's not the bears coming in with power and really screaming at that level. It is a nice level to watch, but looks like the market's going to break higher. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We're still around that weekly level, so we could easily fake out here. Like, there's a lot of shenanigans that can happen here. So I don't really see any trade opportunities going into next week unless we get a full-on breakout and then a retest. But that's probably going to happen over the next, probably not next week, but the week after. We'll probably see something like that. Okay. All right. So the Euro Aussie, it's trending upwards nicely. So we're just waiting for pullbacks and waiting to buy off those lower highs. A little bit overextended on the weekly chart, so just a little bit cautious of buying there. Of course, if the market charges into the weekly resistance, then we can look for counter trend sell signals. Euro New Zealand here. Yeah, I don't really find that attractive. This this buy signal here. Going on the weekly chart, we can see we're getting an actual bounce off a weekly resistance level there. We don't really want to trade against that. Again, weekly chart's the boss. Respect what's happening on the weekly chart. Don't try to go against it in your day-to-day swing trading or breakout trading. So now that we've seen that strong bounce off that weekly chart, we're likely to see some sort of follow through from that. So really, you should be looking for sells that align with that bounce off that weekly level. Gold busting higher after NFP, as I mentioned in the commentary, chart of the day commentary. These markets are very sensitive to these kind of figures. Yeah, it's not a bad little inside candle or inside day there. you got to remember inside candles, you really want to target the ones that form at key decision points. We can see that swing level there did form at a key decision point. Obviously, if you did trade this inside candle, what you'd really want to do is target breakouts only after the US session has opened to minimize any fake out noise there. So I'm not sure if you how that would have went, because this looks like it went bananas with the NFP volatility. So I'm not sure if there would have been slippage issues or something with that, because you can see it's just one big charge up. But maybe it would have worked out. The market that I was looking at, I preferred this silver buy trade. It had a nice swing level through here, nice clear rejection. Okay, the weekly chart shows us clearly where we're trying to march towards this weekly resistance level coming off this weekly support. So everything's looking bullish, more like a ranging structure kind of thing here. So it just looked like a more promising trade, and that one worked out really nicely if anyone caught that. I didn't trade it myself because I try not to overcommit, especially going into NFP. I had that pound trade open, and I don't want to start stacking up a lot of trades going into NFP. That's just silly. All right, so pound Aussie. Yeah, I don't really see much going on here. Yeah, looking fairly thin on the weekly chart. These recent few weeks there, not really much going on. Looks fairly bullish right now. There's not much bearish activity going on there, so we could potentially see a buy off there. I think we did have a buy signal here, but it's not looking too good right now. It's jumped up and then faked back down. So yeah, this market's not really looking too appealing at the moment. Nothing too exciting. I think there's better markets, the more obvious setups and structures are lining up. Pound New Zealand dollar. A lot of these signals on these pound pairs haven't worked out. And obviously this one you would definitely not want to get involved with, because you were going against that previous weekly sell pressure, very powerful. So I definitely would not want to buy into that. So that's one sort of like red flag. That's why I wouldn't be touching that setup right there. Plus, there's no, I mean, there is a weekly level there, but it's not exactly a major kind of level. It is a little bit, but yeah, it's just doesn't look like worth trying to like trade into that previous weekly selling pressure. You can see here that the previous weekly sell pressures come back in after NFP there. It may pick back up off this level. Don't go shorting it or anything, but the market may pick up off this level and drop another buy signal, which would be a little bit more convincing, because we've tried to basically bounce off that level once, and then we come back down, and then we start to get that double bottom pattern with a signal there. That's a much more convincing signal, because we can see the buyers continuing to defend that level. But it'd want to be very convincing, like not a shitty little like narrow ranged buy signal. I'm talking about like a juicy one. All right. Would not be looking to buy here. Just looking off the structure of the market, we're getting lower highs and lower lows, and what the hell, why would we go basically against the momentum here? What is that? Is it even a turning point? Not really. No. So I just can't build any value into that. Most likely we're going to see a bit of a push up, and most likely going to see a sell signal pop up on those lower highs, which is going to be a nice little swing trade opportunity. I'm going to flick through. I'm just going to stop if I see anything interesting now. Looks like a breakout here on the New Zealand dollar CAD. Just checking the weekly chart. Looks all right. Breaking through that important resistance level there, like this range, potentially getting busted. What we want to do is wait for a pullback into that old level and see it hold as new support. And I'm not sure of that. Yeah, look, we've got a bit of an overextension from the mean. You got to be really careful when these weekly levels break out, because they can easily just drop straight back down and fake us out. this could just be NFP hype. We could easily see a drop back down and the market start trading below the range boundary again. This is very common around weekly levels. They can, you may think they're breaking out, and that's maybe what the rest of the market thinks as well. But then they can easily snap back the other way. So we really want to wait for that breakout, that retest, and then we really want to see that the bulls are still in control here. We're getting a bullish rejection signal off that level. It's making higher lows there. That's a much better scenario to trade that breakout. That Euro Swiss franc trade, that's still playing out to the downside. Anyone's actually hold that. Sorry, if anyone's actually been holding that, well done. That's probably got quite a bit of room to drop there. Bit of consolidation here on the yen, euro yen. Actually, this is a nice signal here. This outside candle. Not too bad. So we got a nice swing level through there. We can see the trending structure. We got lower highs coming in, lower lows. We got that breakdown into lower lows, pull back into the swing level, and now we've got that rejection in the form of a outside day. So that looks like a nice trend continuation. Weekly chart looking very bearish there, coming off that weekly top and just continuously printing bearish price action there. There's no reason to be bullish here. Okay, there's no sign of bullish evidence on the weekly chart at all. Even this week here closed as a rejection of higher prices. So if the market does continue to play out to the downside, okay, we're likely to see a move back into that range support there. So we've got plenty of room for some target reward potential there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're getting rejection of higher prices here. Probably going to see a move down to that weekly support, but I wouldn't be trading this garbage when we've got something like this available. Just more consolidation. The Australian dollar, Swiss franc, it looks like it's actually broken that weekly level. Yes, it has. Okay, so that's a pretty big deal. What we'd like to do now is what I explained before. We wait for that retest. Let's see if we can get a sell signal off the lower highs there, ideally off that weekly level. That'll be a very strong swing trade. The pound Swiss franc, actually, let's have to see. I think I adjusted this last week. This looks more like a trend line structure. Okay, so we'll put that through there. So yeah, still looks like a breakout. Again, would want to see a pullback and a sell signal off a lower high around there. Okay, but be careful. This is a turning point. Okay, this trend line has been acting as a linear support here. So we could easily get that snap back the other way next week. So don't go and sell breakouts, after the market's already made a huge charge down like that. We'd really want to see the market like pause for a while here if we're going to take a breakdown. But basically, if you do that, you're really selling on lower lows. How low do you expect the market to go before a correction? So that's why we will wait for the correction and try and catch the next sell signal on the lower high. Be patient. Oil, no, crap. Yeah, oil's not doing much for us at the moment. S&P charging into higher highs even after that that buy signal there on that the old market ceiling there. Okay, acting as new support. I can't remember if I put this as the chart of the day. I try not to because I don't think a lot of you guys in the US can trade these contracts. But with the S&P, usually the best strategy is to take the break of the previous day high or low after the US session opens. So again, I see all these opportunities, but I'm not going to go trade them all because I'm trying to keep my risk down. I don't want to get trapped into this over trading frenzy. So I just try to have the trades I have open So in this case, the pound US dollar, don't really want to start opening up more trades into NFP. This one was a nice little trade for the S&P. When the S&Ps are moving, I've said this in the other weekly commentaries as well. You can see if you catch the breaks of the previous day highs. Usually when the market's when it's moving, not consolidating, it's usually a pretty good deal. Okay, so I guess we can wait for pullbacks, see if we get any further buy signals off higher lows there as that trend momentum continues. And the Dow is usually very similar, but let's see, that was the previous market ceiling. We are in printing all-time highs here. Okay, so I'll probably put that probably down here a little bit. And yeah, again, looking for further buy signals as the market shoots up into the next set of higher highs there. So that's it for this week's commentary. Hope you enjoyed it, and welcome to all the new members. I'll see you guys for next week's trading.